There are secrets that families keep for years, decades even, wrapped carefully in silence, protected by love, or at least, by something that looks like love from the outside. My name is Emma, and I grew up believing I knew exactly who I was, where I came from, who my father was. I grew up with a name, a face in photographs, a story that had been told to me so many times that it felt like memory, like something I had lived, like truth. It was not truth. It was the most carefully constructed lie that the person who loved me most in this world had ever told. My mother lied to me about my real father for 27 years, and the day I found out was the day everything I thought I knew about myself had to be rebuilt from nothing. This is that story. Not a story of anger, not a story of revenge, a story of grief, and the long, slow, painful process of accepting that the people who love us most are still just people, capable of fear, capable of silence, capable of protecting us in ways that ultimately do not protect us at all. I grew up in a small house in the suburbs. My mother and I, just the two of us. My father, the man I was told was my father, had died when I was 2 years old. A car accident. Quick. Unexpected. A tragedy that had shaped everything that came after. That was the story. His name was Robert. There were photographs of him on the shelf in the living room. A tall man with kind eyes and dark hair, smiling in most of the pictures. He looked like someone I would have loved. Someone I did have loved. In whatever way a 2-year-old loves. My mother spoke of him sometimes. Not often, but with a specific tenderness that felt real, felt honest. She kept his watch in her bedside drawer. She visited his grave every year on his birthday. She told me I had his eyes, his stubbornness, his way of laughing with my whole body. I believed her, because why would I not? She was my mother, and mothers do not lie about things like this. That was what I believed. I grew up a quiet child, curious, sensitive, always slightly aware of something missing, without being able to name what it was. I told myself it was my father, the absence of him, the shape of a person I had never properly known. I was partly right, but not in the way I understood then. My mother was extraordinary. I want to say that clearly, before everything else, before the lie, before the discovery, before any of what came after. She was extraordinary. She raised me alone. She worked 2 jobs when I was small so that I could take art classes on Saturday mornings. She came to every school event, every performance, every parent evening where she sat in a too small chair and listened carefully to everything my teachers said. She made my birthday feel like the most important day in the calendar, every single year. Without exception, she was warm. She was maybe something interesting from a few generations back. What I found instead was a name. In the close family matches section, a man, 49% match. The kind of match that means one thing, and one thing only. His name was listed. Thomas, a surname I did not recognize. Not my mother's surname. Not Robert's surname. Someone I had never heard of. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I closed the laptop, made more coffee, and sat at my kitchen table, and thought about whether I actually wanted to know what this meant. I already knew what it meant, but there is a difference between knowing and being ready to know. I drove to my mother's house on a Saturday morning. I did not call ahead. I did not tell her I was coming. I just drove, the way I used to when I was in college, when something was wrong and I needed to be in the house I had grown up in. She was in the garden when I arrived, in the old blue cardigan she wore every weekend. She looked up when she heard the gate and smiled. That warm automatic smile she had always had for me. Emma, what a lovely surprise. She put down her gardening gloves, put the kettle on, cut me a piece of the cake she had made the day before. We sat at the kitchen table, the same table where I had done my homework as a child, where she had helped me practice for exams, where we had eaten 1,000 ordinary meals together. I put my phone on the table, the DNA results on the screen. She looked at it. I watched her face, and in that moment, I saw something I had never seen on my mother's face before. Not confusion, not curiosity, Not the innocent puzzlement of someone looking at something they do not understand. I saw recognition, and I saw fear. And in that single moment, before she said a single word, I knew. She did not deny it. I will say that for her. She looked at the phone. She looked at my face. And she did not deny it. She put down her cup of tea. She folded her hands on the table, the way she used to when she was about to say something important, something she had prepared for. And she began. Robert was real. He had been real. She had loved him. They had been together for 3 years, planning a future, planning the kind of life that people in their mid-20s plan when they are in love and everything seems possible. But the year before I was born, things had become difficult between them. A period of uncertainty, a separation that lasted 4 months. During those 4 months, my mother had met someone else, Thomas, a man she had known briefly, a relationship that was never meant to be permanent, but which had produced permanent consequences. When she discovered she was pregnant, she and Robert had reconciled. He knew from the beginning. He had chosen to stay, chosen to be my father, had loved me as his own from the moment I was born. And when he died in that accident, when I was 2 years old, he took the secret with him, and my mother kept it for 27 years, because she was afraid of what it would do to me, afraid of what it would do to Robert's memory, afraid of what it would do to her. I was going to tell you, she said. I always told myself I would tell you, when you were older, when the time was right, and the time was never right, and the years went by, and you were so happy, and I was so afraid of breaking that happiness, that I kept waiting, and waiting, until 27 years had passed, and the secret had become so old, that telling you felt more dangerous than keeping it. She was crying by the end, quietly, the way she had always cried, without making it about herself. I sat across from her, and I felt something I had not expected. Not rage, not betrayal, not the sharp hot anger I might have predicted, just grief, a deep and complicated grief, for the father I thought I had, for the father I had never known existed, for the mother who had carried this alone for 27 years, for the version of myself I had believed in, that would never be entirely the same again. I did not contact Thomas immediately. I sat with the knowledge for 3 weeks, letting it settle, letting the initial shock find its place, letting my understanding of my own history rearrange itself around this new and permanent fact. I was not Robert's biological daughter. Robert had known, had chosen me anyway, had loved me anyway. That was something. That was actually something significant. But there was another man, a living man, whose DNA I carried, whose name was Thomas, who had perhaps no idea that I existed. I found him through the DNA platform. He had uploaded his results 2 years earlier. His profile said he was 61 years old, lived in another state, had a family. I looked at his profile picture for a long time, looking for myself in a stranger's face, finding things, a similarity around the eyes, the shape of the jaw, small things that would not mean anything to anyone else. That meant everything to me. I sent a message, short, careful. My name is Emma. I believe we may be related. I would appreciate the chance to speak with you, if you are open to it. I understand if you are not. I sent it on a Thursday evening, and then I waited. He replied 4 days later. His message was short too. Emma, I have been looking at your message for 4 days. I want to be honest with you. I had a relationship briefly with a woman many years ago. Her name was Catherine. Is that your mother's name? Catherine. My mother's name. Yes. I typed back. Yes. He replied within an hour. Then I think I understand what this message means. And I want you to know that I am not going to pretend otherwise or disappear. I would like to speak with you, if you are willing. I have thought about this possibility before, more than you might expect. I am sorry it has taken this long. For both of us. I read that message many times. The line that stayed with me most. I have thought about this possibility before. He had wondered. All these years. He had wondered. And done nothing. And I had existed. Not knowing. We arranged a phone call for the following Sunday. and I spent the week before it trying to figure out who I was now. Now that the story I had always told myself about myself was missing something fundamental. His voice was deep, calm, careful in the way voices are careful when the stakes are very high. We talked for 2 hours. He told me about himself, his life, his family, 2 sons, a wife of 30 years, a career he was proud of, a life that had been built entirely without knowledge of me. He told me about my mother, what he remembered of her, which was more than I expected, the months they had spent together, the way it had ended, not badly, just the way things end when 2 people are in different places, when the timing is simply wrong. He said, I always wondered. We did not part in a way that left room for that conversation. And years went by, and I told myself, if there had been something I needed to know, I would have been told. I understand now. That was not necessarily true. I sat with that. Are you angry? I asked. At your mother? A long pause. I was, he said, for about 48 hours after I got your message. And then I thought about what she must have been carrying for 27 years. And the anger became something else, something more like sadness, for all of us, for the time we did not have, that we cannot get back. I went back to my mother's house 2 weeks after the phone call with Thomas. She had been calling. I had been answering, but briefly, carefully, keeping the conversation surface level, because I needed time, and she gave me that time, which was perhaps the most loving thing she could have done. When I arrived, she was in the kitchen. She made tea. We sat at the table, and this time the silence between us was different. Not the comfortable silence of 2 people who know each other completely, but the careful silence of 2 people navigating something new, something that had changed the ground between them. I spoke first. I spoke to Thomas, I said. She nodded. She had known I would. He seems like a good person, I said. He is, she said quietly. He always was. A long pause. I am not going to tell you I understand, I said, because I do not. Not completely. I don't think I ever will. But I have been thinking about something, and I need to say it. You made a choice 27 years ago, out of fear, out of love, out of whatever complicated combination of things it was. I cannot undo that choice. You cannot undo it. And being angry at you does not give me back the years, or the father I did not know, or the version of myself I thought I was. So I am choosing not to spend whatever time we have left punishing you for something that cannot be changed. But I need you to know that I am grieving, and it is going to take time, and I need you to let me grieve without trying to fix it. Can you do that? My mother looked at me, her eyes full of tears. She nodded. Yes, she said. I can do that. And Emma, I am so sorry for all of it, every year of it. I am so deeply sorry. I reached across the table and took her hand, not because everything was okay. It was not, but because she was still my mother. That had not changed. That would never change. I went to Robert's grave a month later, on his birthday, the way my mother always had. I stood there for a long time, looking at the stone with his name on it, the dates of a life cut short, the man in the photographs, kind eyes, dark hair, who had chosen a child that was not biologically his, and loved her anyway, loved her as his own, for 2 years, before an accident took him from both of us. I had always carried the grief of losing a father I barely knew, but standing there that day, I felt something new alongside the grief, gratitude, for a man who had known the truth, and stayed, who had looked at a baby girl, and decided that biology was not the thing that made a father. Choosing was, showing up was, staying was. He had done all 3, for 2 years, until he could not anymore. Thank you, I said out loud, to the stone, to the man I had lost before I could remember him, for choosing me, when you did not have to. The wind moved through the trees around the cemetery, and I stood there for a while longer, in the quiet, with my grief, and my gratitude, both of them real, both of them mine. My mother lied to me about my real father, for 27 years, and the day I found out, I lost something I will never fully get back. The uncomplicated version of my own story. The simple certainty of knowing where I came from. The ability to look at my own face in the mirror and know exactly whose eyes I am seeing. But I also found things. Thomas, a man who, when given the chance, did not run. Who sat with the weight of what had been kept from both of us and chose honesty over silence. The truth about Robert, that he had known and loved me anyway, which changed who he was to me. Not less, more, infinitely more. And my mother, who I am still learning to understand, not as the woman who lied to me, but as the woman who was afraid and human, and who made a choice from fear that she spent 27 years regretting and never found the right moment to undo. I am still grieving. I want to be honest about that. It is not the kind of grief that resolves quickly. It is the kind that lives alongside you, that comes and goes, that appears unexpectedly on ordinary days. When you catch your reflection and see Thomas's jaw, or find one of Robert's photographs in an old box, or sit at your mother's kitchen table and feel the weight of everything that was not said for all those years. But grief and love can exist together. That is something I know now that I did not know before. They are not opposites. They are sometimes the same thing, wearing different faces. I do not know what my relationship with Thomas will become. We have spoken several times now, carefully, slowly, building something that does not have a name yet, something that might take years to understand, or might always remain something undefined, something between strangers, and something more than